All right, the Detroit Lions lose, what was it, 24-31 against the Green Bay Packers at Ford Field. Let's talk about the game. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Check out our Detroit Lions post-game reaction playlist and our Detroit Lions talk playlist. So, Lions got 8 losses now. They ain't out the hunt, but it feel like they out the hunt. But I do appreciate everybody for tapping in. If you haven't, I invite you to hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, and share the video. And, yeah, I had expectations of the Green Bay, when I said 31-21, so I wasn't far off. I mean, it's just factual that Matthew Stafford can't go, he really can't go point for point or touchdown for touchdown with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that's the one thing I took away from today's game. He just can't go point for point with him. You know, when you think about it, you say, okay, Devontae Adams is the best receiver out there for Aaron Rodgers, okay? But other than that, you know, Marvin Jones, Danny Amendola, T.J. Hockenson was better than everybody else he had. And out the backfield, Aaron Jones was pretty good, but he wasn't dominant like he was the first time around. And to be honest, the Lions, they struggled up front, you know, blocking because you had Nelson, converted D lineman, offensive line at right tackle. You had Obashe in there at right guard. So, you know, Val Quinn strikes again. High tie, he injured. He would be your right guard. Terrell Crosby, he would be your right tackle. He injured. So that played a part in the game as well. And DeAndre Swift, it didn't seem like they was 100% comfortable with DeAndre Swift, you know, handling the load like he did versus the football team. And that's just what I took away from it, honestly. And then you just continue to go on. You say, okay, they didn't feel comfortable. Then also with DeAndre Swift, he had an unclear COVID test this morning. So it was a chance that he might not have played until it got clarified. So, excuse me, that's something I found out during the game. But they wasn't ready for him to get him the load today. And that's the fact. And then, you know, talking about Stafford, he just can't go point for point with the upper echelon quarterbacks, you know, with the Mahomes. Mahomes didn't have a touchdown last year when we played them. Stafford just can't manufacture enough drives no matter who out there. Y'all want to say, well, he didn't have Kenny Galladay when he had Calvin Johnson, when he had, you know, Nate Burleson, when he had any type of weapons out there, he couldn't go point for point with the upper echelon quarterbacks. You know, Jared Goff, you know, they found the way to beat him. And people can say, well, he never really had a run game. Shit, people without a daddy or a mama, they can't use that as an excuse no more when they're adult. Well, I have anger problems. I lost my mom when I was 5 years old. They can't use it as an excuse. You know, and that's an actual fact. So let's complain about a running game. You go look at the Baltimore Ravens, and I said this before. They didn't have a running game before Lamar Jackson entered the lineup. It's time for a new era. Stafford is incapable for going point for point. The Lions are incapable of putting the premier team around him. They are lacking the IQ to give him the running game. They are lacking the IQ to give him the defense. And that's just what it is. When they saying Rod Woodhouse making decisions on roster positions, you should just know how dysfunctional this organization is. When they saying Sheila won't use a hiring firm, she gonna just charge Arnie or Cozy, one of her advisors. You know, he did okay them bringing in Bob Quinn, according to, you know, reports. So, I mean, Stafford just not the quarterback that you need in the 21st century. You know, they need somebody that can be mobile. They need a guy like Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson. They don't even need Russell Wilson. They need Lamar Jackson. Or if they're going to be an extremely great pocket passer with some mobility, you need a Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson. That's where the league is going to. Be ahead of the curve before the Packers get back in the head of the curve. They got Jordan Love. They're going to work on his mechanics, blah, blah, blah. The Vikings stuck with Kirk Cousins. The Bears, I don't know what they're going to do. So it's imperative that the Lions find somebody that's the next generation of quarterback. The perfect guy would be Trevor Lawrence. He can run. He can throw. You know, then Justin Fields would be an equal good choice. He can run. He can throw. You look at Zach Wilson. You know, he can run. He can throw. And then also, if you bad next year, if you get Zach Wilson, you know, and he don't work out or whatever, you can do, forgot what we said we're going to call it. What's the old boy name? They got, Kyler Murray knocked him on. They're going to get Rosen, you know. And what you mean to get Rosen? They draft you, and they draft somebody else the next year, and they cut you or they trade you. You're going to get Rosen, and then that's just the actual fact. And, you know, it's just time for them to start to get the next quarterback in behind Matthew Stafford. But other than that, you know, they didn't really have a successful run game, and I don't think it's because just the offensive line, you know, just because of the backs. The offensive line wasn't healthy today, man, and Obashe is just garbage. He had a holding penalty, and I seen it. You know, Nielsen, you know, for somebody that converted from D lineman, he looked pretty good today. He did his best, but then again, I mean, we can cry about ifs and fifths of Hennessy all we want to, but the fact is you got to play with who they got. And, you know, honestly, man, they had a good game plan coming out there offensively, man. They was looking really good. moving the football up and down the field. T.J. Hawkinson was doing good, and but another thing to look at with the Lions as well too, offensively, they just couldn't get up and down the field. Green Bay defense was good enough to kind of hold them where they was at. When you get to the Lions defense today, it's just that, people talking about, we should got rid of Uland. You just don't have the manpower. He out there with Darryl Roberts on the outside. You out there with, Mike Ford, who made a great play in Devontae Adams, down the field. You out there with a lot of guys. For one, you missing your boy Jeff Okudah. He was supposed to be the guy. Everybody talking about Darius Slay performance. Jeff Okudah can't even stay on the field. Healthy or not healthy. You missing Trey Flowers, your big $100 million man damn there. You could just keep going on and on. No, Danny Shelton, I believe he was injured. So, honestly, what can you expect Uland to do? You giving them scraps and telling them to make a great meal. A great chef can't take the worst scraps and make a 5-star meal. So it ain't Corey Uland's fault. He wasn't here to draft some of these guys, and Giovanni Tavai is atrocious. John Panisi made some plays. He probably the third best rookie on the team. They just didn't have the horses on any level to do so. And Araria got burned by Devontae Adams. Ain't no shame in that. He burnt the safety over the top. People say, where's the safety over the top? Man, if you know football, you'll see the safety over the top. Devontae Adams erased the angle. And then again, they played zone and Aaron Rodgers was able to look off and get, work through the zone. But then again, and they do us like they did Chicago. And Chicago got way better defense, way better pass rushers. And then again, the defense did what they can do. You ask Corey Uland go out there and do his best. He did his best, what he had. He mixed it up. He was pressured. He played man. He played zone. And they was this close today. And they just couldn't get that turnover. They got to stop at the end of the half. I think they got another stop too. They just couldn't get that turnover. They just couldn't get that turnover. And that was the deciding factor. And Stafford not being able to go point for point. I can't understand why people can't understand that Stafford is just not that quarterback. He good in San Francisco because he got a proven system that's going to allow him to manufacture points. Some games he might throw 30 times. Some games he might throw 5 or 10 times. But they got a running system, and they got a proven offensive genius in Kyle Shanahan. In Detroit, you don't got that. What you got to understand, this piece may not be the right situation for us in Stafford, but it might be the right situation for the football team. It might be the right situation for the 49ers. It just might be the right situation if John Gruden want to move on from Derek Carr, But then again, we need a Superman at the quarterback. Still the best quarterback we ever had was Bobby Lane. Grew up in Highland Park, Texas, just like Matthew Stafford. He brought a championship here. You need a transcendent quarterback. And you need a new era transcendent quarterback. So you need the Lawrence, the Fields, you need the Lamar Jacksons. You need that type of guy to pick up the run game. That's the one thing the Lions never had. In our generation, is a transcendent quarterback. You can make the argument, had you put Stafford on the teams with Brett Perriman, Herman Moore, eventually Johnny Morton, and with Barry Sanders, they probably would have got over the hump. So they got to find that transcendent quarterback that can get on the hump. But there's been proven situations where teams have won without it. But the problem is, if you want to sustain championship success, Super Bowl success, year in and year out, you got to have a Patrick Mahomes. You got to have a Peyton Manning. You got to have a Tom Brady. You can build great defenses. Look at Chicago. Their defense is pretty good. They run defense not as good as it was the year before. But a bad quarterback can be an anchor and stop you from moving where you need to go. That's the one position that you got to get right. Trent Dilfer, no disrespect to him. Kerry Collins made it to the Super Bowl. You can keep going on and on. Brad Johnson made it to the Super Bowl. You got to get that guy. That guy's going to be able to transcend. And Green Bay ain't too much a better football team than us. They better coach. They personnel not too much better than us. They got the Smith brothers, but then again, when you look at it, Jair Alexander, is pretty good. But you got a Aurier, eventually Okudah be good. So they ain't got no star-studded team. They front seven's only good because they get after the passer with the Smith brothers. But other than that, if Everson Griffin and Okura was healthy and with Trey Flowers, we can kind of counteract that. And that's what I mean. Like, if you take Aaron Rodgers off that team and you say, give me Daniel Jones over there, they won't be shit. Alex Smith, they wouldn't be good. Hey, you could put Ben Roethlisberger over there at this old age, and they wouldn't be the team that they was with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers elevate that team. Without Aaron Rodgers, you put that. Who else you want to put there? You put Kirk Cousins there. They not a player. They the same thing as the Minnesota Vikings. you supposed to build to beat the Super Bowl team, which is the Kansas City Chiefs. But you always supposed to build to beat your division rivals, your big division rivals. And how you beat Green Bay? You go out there with a tremendous defense. It's no secret. You go out there with a tremendous defense, and you know what? You go out there and you run the ball. You got to have a physical running game. That's how you beat all these teams. You beat Chicago that way this year, Minnesota. If you go out there and run that ball versus anybody, you could be a dangerous team. You go out there and play great defense. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. I like Zach Wilson. I probably draft him, but after that, probably be all defense. I get the best defensive lineman. I get the best young linebackers. Really the secondary not bad. You go out there with Okudah, he get better with a training camp and preseason game. Aurier, Coleman, you ain't that bad. Mike Ford and Darren Roberts not bad depth. Your real thing is unlocking what Tracy Walker can do in a system that allows him to be Polamalu, Air Reed, to be free and make plays and be a playmaker. And also probably getting that other safety position and getting somebody special. To be honest, the Lions, if they get somebody that can draft the right way, if you draft the right way, the big free agents will come. They went to Jacksonville, Malik Jackson, Calais Campbell got there, and they won. That's what you got to do. You got to get that elite defense, and you got to get that quarterback. If they can get Zach Wilson, he went off last night too. If they can get Zach Wilson, develop him, get his footwork together, get his arm and all that, and they can draft around, and the offensive line not bad. It's just half the line was missing today. You know what I'm saying? You bring a high top back, you got Ragnow, you bring Jonah Jackson, right? You good. The only issue is Taylor Decker not being able to run block. You got to get a good right tackle and, to come in and maybe learn behind Terrell Crosby for a year or two that can anchor that right side. That ain't no secret. Got to get a strong anchor that over there. But, just defense. I would be thinking about defense. After Zach Wilson, if I get a quarterback or I get another one, defense. From interior linemen that can get it done, from outside pass rushers that can get it done, from linemen. Build a front. They really just need to build a strong front seven. And this is how you beat Aaron Rodgers. Get after him, stop the run, and run the ball. But, obviously people are going to talk about the catch. It was a catch. Even Dan Bino said it was a catch. One of my boys told me he was the one that made the bad play call versus Brandon Pettigrew in the playoffs, which I see people get face guarded all the time. They throw the penalty in the NFL today and before that and during that time. But, at the end of the day, they going to screw us. They had another bad call in this game, too. Not the holding, towards the end. It was another bad call they had, man. Oh, the play on the Aurier. Come on, get the head. That really wasn't no holding, man. And that ball wasn't even fucking catchable. But then again, when you play Green Bay, you playing the refs. And that just shows you that it's proof that the NBA, NFL, and NBA knows got their favorites. The one you really can't control is baseball. They can control it what you call in the pitches, but you really can't, control baseball like that. In football, they just love the Packers. They cheated versus the Bears. They cheat every year. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, Green Bay ain't got the bigger fan base than Pittsburgh and Dallas, and you keep going on and on. But it's just Aaron Rodgers, just like Peyton Manning at the end. They had to give him another Super Bowl. And they want to give Aaron Rodgers another Super Bowl until he the greatest. But then again, he's a great quarterback. The organization could have put more talent behind him. But damn, man, you got to cheat with the teams like Detroit and Chicago. What you got to cheat us for? That was a clear catch. And eventually Matthew Stafford was probably about to get knocked out. He ended up scoring a drive, but he got knocked out the game. And this is why I just say, man, if everybody not going to have an equal chance, which that's not the problem in the NFL and NBA, just cut the teams out. But other than that, with Stafford getting injured, with a rib injury, supposed to have a good backup. Chase Daniel proved himself. He wasn't a good backup. You needed Herbert. You needed Tua. You needed guys like you should have took those guys. This team, this wouldn't have helped us win now. Fuck you mean? The last year we took TJ Hawkinson, he didn't help us win in his first year. You knew Jeff Okudah wasn't ready in his first year. It's just common sense about football, but, they want to keep riding with Stafford. We keep telling you, dude, should have took a quarterback. You was in a position last year to get a quarterback, and now you don't want too many games not to get a quarterback. This organization is just dumb, but hey, it is what it is. I ain't about to sit here and complain about us getting cheated. It's the same thing every year versus the Packers and other teams. So let me know what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, card response, or video request. All my social media links in the description. Twitter's the fast way, and then Facebook, then Instagram. Other than that, you can reach me in the comment section want to make a donation, Cash App CJ Good 313. That's in the description. PayPal link in the description. Also, don't forget you can follow me at Goodfellas Sports TV right here on YouTube for more sports, music, news, and entertainment. Goodfellas Sports TV 2.0. Other than that, best way to donate, share the video, hit the subscribe button, bell icon button. We gone.